A few weeks ago, I travelled from Melbourne to Adelaide to do the Bowerbird Design Market. It was the first time I've ever done this market. I vlogged the whole thing. I want to share that with you now. I've just started getting back into big markets and events this year, and I'm learning a lot as I go. So I love to be able to share the process. If you're just getting into markets or have been doing markets for a long time but want to go to that next level and start doing those multi-day design events, I hope this video helps. At the end of the video, I'm going to go through my total income from the event as well as all of the expenses and do a little bit of a review of whether I do it again or not. Things didn't quite go to plan, so I hope you enjoy the vlog and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. It's Tuesday morning before the Bowerbird Festival in Adelaide. I'm just at a friend's studio because I'm borrowing her table, which I used at Finders Keepers last year. It was really perfect. I literally need to find someone to make me something similar. So basically the base folds up really well. It's on wheels, so easy to pull in and out of an event. This guy just sits on top. These are just to hold the thing open. It's not like super finished, but it does the job really well. I've also borrowed her rubber mat because standing at a stall for 3 days absolutely murders your back. So rubber mats are great, and I don't have one at the moment, so I borrowed that. I don't know why I'm puffed out. I'm so unhealthy. It's just not good. Hi, it is 1 p.m. on Wednesday, the day before I drive for Adelaide. I've got so much to do. I just picked up some pottery pieces, but from one of the people I get firing done from. I'm about to go to the other one. Thankfully, they only live like 5 minutes away from each other. And then I've got until about 2:30. I've got an hour at my studio to price as much as possible for the market, pack as much as possible, price stuff that I'm leaving at my studio for their market day on Saturday. And then I've got to go pick my daughter up. I promised I'd take her for some driving lessons. I've got to go and do a one-on-one art class with one of the kids I do that with in Rye. So basically from 3 to 6 is out for getting ready for out my trip. I'm starting to get a little stressed. It's fine. It's going to be fun. Okay, I just picked up my second lot of firing and I'm so grateful that I got these. They're literally still hot from the kiln. I didn't think I was going to get this lot back before tomorrow, so this is great because it's quite a few vases and I was really nowhere near the amount of vases that I would have liked to have had. So back to the studio now. I'm pretty happy with the amount of vases I've got. Definitely happy with the amount of whales I've got. I made so many. The last big event I did, I ran out of the whales pretty quickly. I think it was Finders Keepers October. I ran out by the Saturday morning. This time with Bowerbird, I actually made a list of the quantities I was aiming to get made. Now, I'm still nowhere near on top of my ceramic production. You've really got to stay on top of it. You've got to be making every day really, or get a big bulk lot made. And I'm just not quite there yet, but I did get quite a few things done, which I'm kind of proud of myself. I got the correct amount of mini fairy houses, but not quite enough of the vase quantities that I wanted. So definitely need to improve on that next time. I also had to prep some stock that I was leaving at my studio because I work from a co-working space and they were having a Mother's Day market day. So I didn't have to be there, but I did have to price everything. So I just spent a little bit of time pricing some art prints, some little mini zines, greeting cards and some stickers and other things. So that took an extra probably hour, I reckon. It's now 7 o'clock. I'm just back at my studio after doing my one-on-one workshop. I thought I had all my ceramics packed. I was right on track. I'm going to be out here by 8. But then I just looked down and I hadn't packed any of my whales. So I've packed half of them now with the rest of the pottery in here. Suitcases are so good for packing products, I always find, because they're just easy to move in and out of the car. They pack up really nicely. Everything's really well protected if it's a hard suitcase. So I just need to find another container now to put the rest of my whales in. And then I can start loading the car and head home and pack my bags because I haven't even packed what I'm wearing and stuff. And I've still got some video editing to do that I have to send through to someone tonight. Oh, there's a lot to do. It's okay. If I'm in bed by like 10:30, it's fine. about to load the car up. I hate being at this studio at night. Actually, any studio. I get scared. But it's all good. It's only 7 o'clock. I can hear lots of people around still in the factory. So we're good. Let's get this done. Okay, as neat and tidy as I get. My road trip to Adelaide has begun. It's 7 a.m. I just dropped my dog off to my mum's and now I'm just picking my daughter up, and then we've got, it says 8 hours and 18 minutes. So that's good. I like the 8-hour time zone instead of the 9-hour time zone. I'm half an hour behind schedule just because I slept in a little bit and my dog would not let me get her when we were ready to go. I shouldn't have put her ramp and bed in the car first because she was like, no, she was not having it. Absolutely not having it. She was not getting in the car. So yeah, my daughter and I chased her around the house for 10 minutes and then I started crying because I was so frustrated and behind schedule. And I was tired. I did not sleep well last night. So that's not great when you've got an 8-hour drive. I did get a couple of energy drinks from the supermarket last night. I never have energy drinks. So maybe I have them like once every 6 months. So I feel like I'll have a coffee probably in an hour. I've already had one coffee. And then if I'm feeling really tired, which I don't think I will, I'm pretty good driving. I can drive a pretty long way. I've got couple of energy drinks if I really need a little extra boost. We stopped for lunch in Horsham and I got a lovely solid roll from a little small bakery. It was delicious. It's Friday morning. I am lying in bed in my Airbnb. So we got to Adelaide at about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So it was almost a 10-hour drive from my house to drop off my dog, pick up my daughter, and then get up here. We just stopped at a Macca's just outside of Melbourne for breakfast. We drove and stopped in Horsham for lunch. So we found a cute little bakery called Wax Bakery. And then we drove to Tintinara, I think it's called, for a little quick snack break. I was really tired though, so we went and got some food from the supermarket and then had something to eat, and then I just went to bed at like 6 o'clock. I didn't sleep all that though. I think I've had about 8 hours sleep, so that's good. We're going to head to Bunnings. I just need to get some strips for my sign to put on the wall. And then we're going to go set up at the Adelaide Showgrounds at 9 o'clock. The event starts at 4 today. So my plan is set up from about 9 to 11, come back, have a little rest. I want to go and see one of my stockers shop. So hopefully we'll have time to do that. And yeah, I'm just going to try and chill out until this afternoon when the event starts. That one. Just figured out the display setup. So I didn't realise I was going to have a corner wall, which is kind of cool. I don't have anything to put on it, so I might just blue tack some prints or stickers or something. But that's the hardest bit, doing that bit. Oh, it is so hard to get up. Ooh. Like that. Does that look like the middle? Mm-hmm. I've still got a little bit more to do, but so far so good. Everyone's setting up. Great venue. I love these chairs for the change rooms. So I'm very excited. Okay, next time I'm going to have way more mushroom things, but my mushroom stickers have just been restocked. So they go with my tiny little mushroom houses. And I've got one bigger mushroom house as well. Cute. Alrighty, it is 3 o'clock on the Friday. I've just got back to the showgrounds. My daughter and I, Emma, set up mostly this morning, and then we went back to the Airbnb. I had a nap, much more of a nap than I wanted, because I actually wanted to go and visit one of my stockists, but did not make it. I think I just needed a good sleep. So ready to go. The event starts in 1 hour. I've got a few things left to do on my stall, including making a little macrame wall hanging to put my bunch of flowers in the corner because it looks quite bare. So, and because it's South Australia, I remembered on the way up here that you have to be careful about what sort of plants. So I wasn't sure if I'd be able to put my preserved and dried flower stems in all of my little pottery things, but I've done some research today. It turns out I can because they're dried and there's no bugs or anything on them. So I have to go do that now, and I've got 1 hour to be ready, but I think I'll be fine. I didn't realise, but they've got a little caravan park on the showgrounds. How cool is that? If I do the van life thing I want to do, that would be a great place to stay. My stall looks like a baby compared to everyone else's. Oh no, the sign fell off. Hey, how are you? That's okay, this will do it. I think. Yeah. That'll do. I didn't like the corner of my stall. You can see just behind my shoulder, it's got a bit of a gap between the white backing boards. So I decided just to make a little sort of macrame pot hanger to put my pot and my vase of flowers in there. I think it kind of helped, but I don't know that it really made that much of a difference. It's good to know if I ever do this one again, just to sort of maybe get some white fabric just to chuck over the corner to hide that little icky gap. It's Saturday morning. I forgot to record last night. So Friday night for first Bowerbird Market was pretty good. I had a goal I set a target of sales of $600. Now, just pulling it out of complete thin air, to be honest, because I want to make a specific amount over this whole weekend, which was $3,000, which is a very low amount considering the stall cost $1,000 and I had all the expenses getting up here. But because it's the first one, not knowing exactly what products will sell, I've bought a bit of everything, so I'm keeping it lower. Ideally, moving forward, if I was to do it again, I'd want at least $5,000 in sales. Going by getting $3,000 in sales, sort of broken the 3 days up into sales targets. Friday night, last night, my target was $600. I only got to $450, but I'm still pretty happy with that. Friday nights are always a bit funny because mainly it's just people coming from after work. Most people are going to come on the Saturday or Sunday. Hopefully today's nice and busy. The first hour and a half last night though, no sales. I was starting to panic a little bit and I was thinking, oh my God, don't tell me this is going to be another flop. I've had a bigger flop in the last month with the Off-Grid Living Festival. I couldn't take another flop. And then I had a rush of sales and I felt fine. It's just getting that first sale. But before the first sale, I have it in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I even going to sell anything? So it turned out to be a good night. The whales didn't really sell very well. So that's a little bit of a worry for me because I've got lots of whales. My fairy houses sold amazingly and some of the vases as well. The little vases are selling well, like the $12 and $15 vases and just a couple of the $25 vases. The 30 and up really aren't selling. But today might be a different crowd, so I'm not going to stress out too much. What I might do though today is if I haven't sold any whales by say like 1 o'clock, I might just reduce the prices of the two bigger sizes a little bit. Currently I'm selling the small for $15, the medium for $25 and the large, well actually I have small and large traditionally, it's $15, $25. But because I've made some extra large ones by accident, I've charged them at $35. But that's a lot more. So I'm just wondering if they don't sell too well this morning, I might change the prices so that they're 15 and then 22 and 28 or something, or even maybe 15, 20 and 25. I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to reduce my prices too much because, and I've just put my mini fairy houses. I was selling them for $8. I've been thinking about it on the way up here. I thought that's so cheap for a cute little handmade ceramic object. So I changed the price to $12 each, or 2 for $20. I was a little concerned. I almost backed out and didn't do it, but I did. And they were selling great last night. So I think that's going to be their new price. Also, because I'm going to start wholesaling them, I need to be able to make the wholesale price manageable for me to still actually make some profit out of it. So they've gone up a little bit. So I don't really want to put the whales down. So I'm just going to see how the morning goes. I'm heading there now. It's just after 9. It starts at 10, so it's only a 10-minute drive. But I'm looking forward to see how today goes. I'm fairly happy with last night, even though I wished it had gone up a little bit. My goal target for today's sales is 1,500, which I think, even based on last night's sales, is fairly reasonable. That's kind of between, what's that, 450, 900. It's just over triple what I made last night, which is doable. I think it's pretty reasonable, but we'll see how we go. I'll try and vlog during the event. I just always forget, so we'll see how we go. Showgrounds. Oh my gosh, I need coffee. I think I'm gonna get a juice today just for some healthy energy, you know? I just met a ceramicist or an illustrator, and her stuff is beautiful. I'm going to put it on the screen. It's lunchtime at Bowerbird Market on the Saturday. It's been an okay morning. A bit quieter than I'd like, but it's alright. I got the paella, so I'm probably going to want to have a nap, which was probably a bad idea, but it's yum. Okay, let's do a review of yesterday, which was Saturday. It's currently like 8 a.m. Sunday morning. Yesterday was terrible. It was so quiet. I hadn't sold more than Friday night by 3 p.m. yesterday. And Saturday, usually you sort of tripling at least the sales from Friday night. I had a goal of 1,500. I ended up selling 650. I had a last little minute rush, thank God, because I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't even covered the stall. So I ended up selling 650, so we're up to like 1,100 in sales. The stall cost $1,000, so it's not great. I should be up to 2,000 ready for Sunday today. A lot of people saying it was because of the election. Everyone was out voting. I am not confident that today is going to be busier, because for me, any Friday night, Saturday, Sunday market that I've ever done, the Sunday has never been busier than the Saturday. Adelaide might be different. We'll see, but I'm not getting my hopes up. My original target was 900 for today. I don't know. I'm like, am I even going to make 500? So we'll see. We'll see. I'm going in today very nervous, because I haven't sold anywhere near as much as I need to cover all the expenses and everything of coming here. But yeah, I think I'm going to do a little rearrange of my stall this morning. I'm not loving the setup. Not that that's made a difference, I don't think. There's just wasn't as many people. Like, even people that have done this market for years have said it's so quiet for a Saturday, so quiet. So it's got to be to do with the voting day. Who knows? Anyway, today we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. So there's definitely more people here today. It's 11:50 a.m. I've had a good start. It was a little rush. I hope it's not a fake rush like yesterday, though. I had a little busy patch yesterday morning too, and I was like, it's going to be so busy, and then it went dead. But it's lots of people here this morning, which is great. And then we just packed up at Bowerbird. It is, what's the time? Is it like 10 to 6? Is it 10 to 6? Yep, 5:47. We are going to drive for 2 hours and 20 minutes and stay at Keith because I wanted to get a head start on the way home so we didn't have as many hours to do tomorrow. I think I'm energized enough. It's Monday morning, 6 o'clock. We started driving from Adelaide last night. I just wanted to get a head start so I wasn't doing so many hours today. So we stayed at Keith. We had a really nice Indian dinner in Tailem Bend. I've got the worst headache because the pillow that I slept on at this hotel was terrible. Okay, so yesterday's sales, I haven't got my book, but I think it was ended up being $590 maybe. So at least I was, going in yesterday with very stressed because I just was like, am I even going to sell 500? So obviously original target for Sunday was 900, but I sold nearly 600. And after the shoot Saturday, although Saturday ended up being still more sales, but nowhere near as much as it should have been. But yesterday I had more actual sales, so less dollar value, but more sales. So Sunday is definitely trending towards being the sticker day. What I think I need to work on now is definitely getting some more higher price items. So I know I talked about in other vlogs, this time around with my product-based business, I'm keeping the prices really affordable, which is great, but obviously you need to sell a lot more things if you've got lower price. So I definitely think I need to bring in some more higher price things. Maybe bring back some original art, because if you sell some original art, that's usually $200-300 in one transaction. And there were people there buying high price ticket items. So maybe some bigger ceramic pieces and some original art, along with lots more smaller things. So bringing back lots more greeting cards. I've had keychains and magnets on my list, and I had a few requests for those two items actually. I also want to get my sticker designs made into little charms and then turn them into earrings. I think jewelry is always a good thing to have, and because it matches in with all the products, I think that'd be a great addition. So I definitely just need to redesign my stall so it's more like a little shop and get lots more products and definitely have at least some higher price items. The problem with original art, it takes up so much space, and I really like my stall set up now because it's so small. It doesn't have massive bulky things. So I'm just going to have a really good think about, maybe I'll do some original art like 30 by 30 centimeters. I've got some canvases actually. I could even just do some prints, some really good quality prints on canvas with framed wood frames and sell them for a decent amount. And then I'm not having to make more art, and it would match in with my stall. So that's a good option too. Anyway, we're going to go drive now for another 6 hours to drop my daughter off. Then I'll pick up my puppy dog, and then I'll go home and unload. Okay, so that was at the Bowerbird Market. I have a few reflection points. Firstly, the amount of sales I got. So the Friday night I made $450. The Saturday I made $639, and the Sunday I made $583. Obviously the Saturday I should have made a lot more than that, but election day definitely impacted. It was very quiet. But once I got home, I had to sort of do a bit of a review and reflection. Now, remembering most of my items were priced between $5 and $30. I had about 3 larger vessels and vases in the pottery that were $45, and they sold pretty quickly, obviously, and I didn't have very many of them. I only had 3. So me wanting to keep things affordable is all well and good, but there are people there who had money to spend. My neighbor was selling $200 bags. He sold $5,000 on the weekend, even though it was very quiet. So I think for future events, I definitely need to have those higher price items. Bringing back original art into my market stalls, I think, is really important. I stopped bringing my original artworks to markets because they're just a pain in the bum, because they kind of, if they're big canvases, they get damaged easily. But I could quite easily bring smaller canvases, box them up nicely so they're protected, and they sell between $200 and $300. And getting a few $200 sales in amongst your $10, $20, $30 sales obviously is going to make a massive impact on the overall sales. Also, just amount of products that I had. With the pottery, I always know they're going to be popular, and I've never had enough. Since I've started doing pottery in the middle of last year to sell, I've not done one big event where I've had enough pottery, and I've always sold out of certain sizes. So for future events, I'm literally going to have so much more products available, so that doesn't happen anymore. My expenses for the weekend were, the market itself was $1,000. The accommodation, I got a bit of a discount because I had an Airbnb gift voucher. So the accommodation all up was about $400, and petrol was $180. So it was only $90 each way. So that's not including food. So I've been telling people I broke even, but really I lost money because the amount of money I sold just covered accommodation, the fee, and petrol. I still spent a couple $100 on food and just my time, and I was so exhausted after this event for a week. I was pretty much out for a week, and I actually felt really shit. So I was planning on going back to the November event because it's a beautiful event, and I really do think I could do really well at this event. However, I've decided, instead of trying to try all these different events this year, which has been my plan, is just like try everything, and then at the end of the year review and decide which ones are worth doing next year and which ones aren't. I can't afford to do that. I don't have the money in my business profit sitting there at the moment because I've really just restarted it towards the end of last year. So I'm still building it up. I don't have the cash flow to be able to just try heaps of different things, especially interstate events. So I'm not going to apply for the November Bowerbird this year. I'm going to stick to Victorian-based events, and I'm going to be a lot more careful about which events I actually apply for. And the ones I do apply for and get into, I'm actually going to make sure I've got heaps of stock. So for example, the next big event I've got coming up is Finders Keepers in July. Like my previous events, I put on my whiteboard, I have a goal of how many products I want to have. But because my brain doesn't work well in advance, I actually did a little trick, which I'm actually going to make a whole video about, where I just took a photo of my whiteboard, put it into ChatGPT, said give me a weekly plan, blah blah blah, and it's working. So my plan for Finders Keepers is to actually have $30,000 worth of stock, and then with the goal to at least sell 5 to 10,000 would be amazing, because this one costs more than Bowerbird. But it's cheaper for, I don't have accommodation fees or heaps of petrol. So that'll be my next full-length art vlog. Until then, I hope this video was helpful. If you're getting into markets or bigger events and you just want people to share their actual numbers, I love it when people share their numbers. Yeah, I hope this was helpful to you, and feel free to subscribe and get notified for the next vlog. I'm really going to be doing lots of behind the scenes, market prep, trade shows. I've got a trade show coming up at the end of July as well. So if you're really looking to grow your art or handmade or product-based business, this, hopefully me sharing my story, will help you along your journey to profitability as well.